You back in your mouth because you shit on me.
The thesis.
Hip hop rules the world.
Fucking
Moving it quick, trying to get rich and I'm dodging these things. Got head in the Uber, they call me a live. She pissed, but it is what it is, what it is. Girl, I'm stuck up in my ways, yeah. Get the fuck out of my fucking.
I'll be around.
Give me a hug.
That means a lot. Thank you, man.
Of course, brother. Real good. Real good. Want to get a quick photo?
Yeah, let's get a photo, man.
Dusty got us.
With Sakari. To like beat on your team, the osmosis, seeing the whole thing kind of unravel under the hood, that entire situation, it's been like crazy, man. So like first off, thank you. But like I don't want to take this, like this opportunity means so much. I don't know, people talk about the opportunity, right? When you're in front of someone, like that obviously inspired you and things like that. I don't want to like take this for granted. So like, I don't know, I think for me, I just want to talk about obviously like me a little bit, like, but like what I'm up to and stuff like that. And then obviously any context, because I don't know when I'm gonna get an opportunity like this again.
I get it, my guy.
You know what I mean? But like, so the banana pudding, I would love for you to taste it if you're cool with it. If you're down to taste it, I would love for you to taste it. You're in? Okay, cool. I got you some banana pudding. We can talk about it. But for me, like, this is like my storytelling vehicle,
Yes.
right? So like I created this banana pudding, totally vegan, no processed sugar.
Yep.
Created is just like, I've made content for it, TikTok, stuff like that. And people really start to have a liking to it.
Yep.
So I had Saladin taste it, had like a up and coming artist, LaRusso taste it, stuff like that.
Yep.
But for me, this is just a way for people to kind of like an intro to me. You know what I mean? To just share about like who I am and stuff like that. Because you could talk about people like, yo, you're a chef, yo, you started from McDonald's and you did all these cool things, whatever the case is. But like people don't really know until you could like really share your art with them.
I agree.
You know, I feel like this is me sharing my art. This is like me, if you was a rapper, this is like me giving you my mixtape.
I totally understand.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
So I don't know.
It just tastes better than a mixtape.
That's how I share my story, you know? And I just think it's so important. I've been working on this project, like a Black History Month project, and like talk about the osmosis right here. So I've just been really focused on how can I make this into a series. So like I launched the NFT project, nobody cared, whatever the case is. Kept building, making relationships. I think I've gotten like lifelong relationships out of people here, you know?
It's the best part.
I think it's the number one thing.
It's the number one thing.
You know what I mean? And then obviously like a lot of learning and stuff like that. But we're making a series every day on TikTok. This is some of the stuff right here that I made. So basically I made out of like curio cards. So like I made my own version of curio cards.
Yep.
30 dishes based off of African-American chefs. Each dish is just based off of African-American. My mother from Abby Fisher, who was like the first African-American woman to have a cookbook, to like James Hemmings. The reason why we eat macaroni and cheese today in America is because of James Hemmings. Hercules, who was like George Washington's chef. So each dish has a different purpose. Marcus Samuelson, dish dedicated to him. Kwame, just every person that's inspired me. My father, who passed away last year, stuff like that. So I have a dish based on him.
What's this fish?
The fish is Kwame, so like he loves jerk, so we did like a jerk fish for him. That's just me creating my art, you know, and just wanting to share it. That's it. I don't really want anything from you. I think you've done more than enough. Just being here in the building, I think is like incredible.
What are your biggest takeaways?
I think my biggest takeaway for me would be
like when people hit you up, that when they figure out that you're here, right?
Yeah.
After they say, "What's Gary really like?" Because
that's the first question, right? Yeah, of course.
Like, where does it go? Like, what do you tell your friends or acquaintances or different business people you've met of like what it is?
I think going back to underneath the hood, right? Like the data situation, I wasn't aware of that, and just learn. I think when I was talking to Sid, right, a couple things that come to my mind. I feel like this was me going golfing if I was Michael Jordan, right? And I'm going back to the Bulls type of situation.
Yeah.
Right? I like miss cooking.
Yes.
And like that's what I was born to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
good.
like I feel like
It was baseball, by the way.
baseball, golfing, baseball. Yeah, there
He
it
likes
is.
golfing, though.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I think that's great. And honestly, that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes when I talk to my friends, I'm like, if you don't do it because you love it and love the process,
Yeah.
it's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
And like for you to be able to do this and now know like, oh, it's the cooking at this young of an age,
Yeah.
it's big.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I think the biggest takeaway for me was that, obviously osmosis, but like I was talking to Sid, like the importance of observation, like taking what's working, what's not working, being creative, and then seeing, you know, like with the mystery box.
Critical thinking.
Yeah. Mystery box, right? Like branding. Okay, it's not working. How can we make it work? Instead of doing one mystery box, let's do 5.
That's right.
You know, how can we make this to get them? Yeah. You know,
It's like ingredients.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how I think about it. I think, isn't that how I titled it with 12 and a half? Yeah. It's just how I think about the whole world.
Yeah.
I think the thing that works for me that I'm starting to understand is like, oh, well, I'm thinking about 4 things at the same time. And that instead of like where I see most people think of one thing at the same time, and then that's why I'm getting to unique observations, insights, better operations, better HR, more thoughtful. And I think that's what you, like, what's cool about that is like, that comes natural when you're cooking. You're like, what if I add this? What if I take this out?
Yeah.
I don't think that's how people live life or operate or run businesses enough. Like they're just in silos. Like here's the profit margin,
Right.
You know,
The intuition of like just knowing, like you're taste testing.
taste testing. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You know,
It just comes super natural to me, and I bet it comes
it's
super
almost
natural
like
with
this.
you.
Like this is a perfect example. So it's very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Is that the right brand? Just because you have Creative Commons against that mutant, does that mean it's right?
Right.
Like, is this a 10 times bigger brand if you had a different brand to it?
Right.
Or, you know, it's not even just, because it's not just about what's inside of it that is critically successful.
Right.
There's so many variables. The distribution,
Yep.
positioning, the
Yep.
merchandising,
Yep.
the
You know,
moment in time.
one thing I learned about you, one thing I learned from you was, so a friend came to me and was like, hey, listen, let's take some type of Bored Ape and let's put it on there because of the branding of it, right? Banana pudding. I was like, I don't want to put anybody's Bored Ape unless I know the person.
Yeah.
And so the person I did was like one of my good friends, Robbie, who believed in me way before anybody else.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? So it means something.
Correct.
So it wasn't
that goes
just
back to what I think you're figuring out, which is if it's not like bigger than, it's dead.
Yeah.
Like what I am is religious. I'm religious about how I want our culture to be. I'm religious about I'm incapable of doing anything besides being a businessman. That's why I got bad grades.
Yeah.
I was religious.
Yeah.
I was willing to die in school in 4th grade. You know, like tell me that I'm gonna be a garbage man. That's what teachers loved to say back in the 80s.
Right.
You're like, which is some bullshit because garbage men fucking grind it and get paid pretty solid. You know, I was laughing about that. I'm like, there's a lot worse things than that. Anyway, nonetheless, like, good. I like what I'm hearing. This always gets me excited when I feel like, sometimes I get worried when people have serendipitous opportunities to get close to the sun and jam with us in these like last meetings. And like, they only saw the literal thing.
Yeah.
They didn't get it. This gives me peace of mind that you got a lot out of this.
I did. And I'm just super grateful. And I just I know in my gut that this is like just the start of a real genuine relationship. And that's,
of course, that's the best part of who I think we are. We've already got that with people, and you wouldn't have been in this spot if I wasn't. I'm more open to continuing the relationship than when it happened in the first place. You know?
Yeah, it means so much, man.
Cool, brother.
So yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This isn't the end of anything.
See you
It's just
later. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'll be around.
I'm sure.
I'll be around. You'll see. You'll see.
Give me a hug.
It means a lot. Thank you, man.
Of course, brother. Real
Means
good.
a lot.
Real good. Want
Means
to get
a
a
lot.
quick photo?
Yeah, let's get a photo, man.
Dust, you got us?
Yes, sir. One, two, three.
My dad has a picture of me and him graduating.
Yes.
And he did this. He was like a Freemason
So now
type.
you're-
So now this is like me like, resembling him. This and like this is him actually. I put on my shirt. You know what I mean?
That's good. Keep that legacy alive.
Love, man.
Love, bro. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Sippin' with Sakari.